Tonight on the Cooligans, we are talking about the Champions League final. We are recapping the game and mostly Alphonso Davies' Instagram. Okay, that is what is important right now.
Hey, the most important man in Canada followed him. We got to talk about it. And it's not who you think. Plus, we talked to Forward Madison's huge forward, Wojciech. We talk about a lot, including why is a bottle of Hennessy so important? That and more today on the Cooligans! Yeah, baby! I should have yelled Charlie Davies, not Charlie, Jesus, Alphonso Davies.
Ben Davies, every Davies.
The whole Davies family got to be doing the stanky leg right now.
What is good? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
That's right. And I'm Alexis Davies. No, I'm Alexis Guerreros.
Okay. We are all Alphonso Davies.
They said you could be whatever you want when you grow up. On shows Alphonso Davies.
Yes, even though he is a teenager and you are a fully grown adult man.
I don't know what you're talking about. He is at least 2 years my senior.
Hello, everybody. Yes, we are the Cooligans. We are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show that you have ever witnessed.
Yeah, we better be. Because if not, what else are you watching, bruh? Because we're not just that. We also happen to be the gulliest.
Look at that. It's a twofer.
All right. We're always on sale, baby. It's like Macy's.
So
remember Macy's?
Oh, you talking about the before times?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
BC
Retail?
before COVID?
Yes, we got to talk about the Champions League final. It happened over the weekend, this Sunday. Bayern Munich against PSG. Alexis predicted that Bayern
Munich would win 1-0. Got him.
Oh, the streak continues.
I'm 100 for 100.
Alexis, yes, he may or may not have predicted that PSG was going to win that game easily, apparently. And no, they did not. They lost 1-0 after a goal from Kingsley Coman.
As everyone expected.
Okay, the Oracle was right, you know?
We also, what's the most probable thing to happen? Oh yeah, Kingsley Coman is going to score the only goal when it's Bayern Munich versus PSG. Everyone assumed it was going to be an absolute slaughter, just like attack versus attack, no one defending. Apparently, both clubs switched it up a little bit.
No, this was a pitcher's duel. Okay?
Yeah, dude.
They look. The main things from this game, I think Bayern was unbelievable. This not only this season through Bundesliga, Champions League. Once
they fired their coach, once they got flicking, bruh, they flicked the switch and turned it on. Okay. Are you still listening? I am so sorry for that.
Yes, like Drake's song. I just hit the switch or flip the switch.
Yeah, it was flip the switch, but he flicked the switch.
He flicked the switch. Okay, all right. This is the remix, everybody. Yeah. And speaking of Drake, look, we got all these gifts from the Champions League final and from Alphonso Davies' being on TikTok. And I'm happy.
He's on multiple social media platforms. I feel like this is all because of the women's national team. They changed the game. Because now, when somebody wins a major award in soccer, the first thing you got to do is you got to hit the gram and see what's happening on them stories.
Yeah, dude, it is. He not only has he been entertaining on social media, but he's also backed it up on the pitch. So it can't be like, nobody can be like, Alphonso Davies, that he's always on TikTok.
He's distracted. Apparently, he's got a lot of extra time. He's goody.
Okay, I think TikTok is his focus and soccer is his hobby. All right,
he is really good at both.
But no, a cool thing for Alphonso Davies was while he was celebrating the Champions League final victory. I mean, the kid is 19 years old, a Canadian superstar. He is his value has absolutely skyrocketed, and he gets a follow
from the Justin Trudeau, right? Because that's what used to happen, right? You would win, you would get a phone call from the president or something, right? So who could it possibly be in Canada that means as much as a phone call from Obama would have meant a few years ago? Christian?
Champagne Papi himself.
Wow, Drake?
Drake. Drizzy gives a follow to his fellow Canadian, Alphonso Davies, and Alphonso Davies. I mean, let's be honest. He is celebrating the follow from Drake more than the Champions League final.
He won 2 finals yesterday, as far as he's concerned. And how he ranks them is probably Champions League second, if I'm going to be completely honest. Because, wow, he reacts. He's like, day's done. I'm good. Shut it all down. It's like, fam, you just won the hardest trophy to win besides the World Cup.
I mean, and it's interesting, right? Because especially given his age and, like I was listening when I first heard Drake, I was 26, 25 or whatever. Like I'm like, all right, this dude is dope. I like his music. This is a new rapper. And then I didn't expect him to become who he became, but cool.
Yeah,
but
a Canadian child actor who's half Jewish become the greatest rapper of all time? No one, including Drake. Yo, homie, I bet you if he went to a tarot card reader, he's like, I want to be the greatest rapper. They're going to be like, look, I know none of this is real, but fam, you need to tamper your expectations just a little bit. How about get signed? How about you get signed first?
And the fact that, but for Alphonso Davies, who is much younger than we are.
Yes. Younger than you.
For me specifically, yes. I'm so old.
Him and I kind of hung out a lot as kids.
But for him, this is a somebody in his era. This is like if Biggie or Tupac followed us on Instagram.
If my mother would have won some sewing championship because she's really good at sewing, right? And then Julio Iglesias followed her, my mother would have gone ballistic.
Bro,
she would have been punching women next to her in the face who lost.
If my mom got followed by Jose,
oh my
she would have.
If my aunt would have gotten followed by 440, she would have been doing wrestling moves on people. Okay.
Okay. If my cousin got followed by Anthony Santos,
wow.
Things would have been nuts. Okay?
If my neighbor got followed by Hector Lavoe, it would have been burning. They would have been burning down the city of North.
This was huge. I mean, we could talk about the tactics of Champions League final. This was the highlight. Drake following
this is big.
Alphonso Davies. It was tremendous.
I bet you Drake didn't even know he won the championship. He was just like, I think I'm gonna follow this dude. I heard he's good. Oh, he won the Champions League? I wonder what that is. You know what I mean?
Nah, Drake knows soccer, right? We've seen him. He supports, I believe, every single soccer team that gives him a jersey.
Yeah, I said this. I said if by the time I wake up that Tim Hortons hasn't named a donut after Alphonso Davies, they're not allowed in the UN anymore, bro.
Bro, yeah, the dude, he deserves respect, and a trip to, I don't know what the White House equivalent is in Canada, but whatever it is, maybe it's just a Tim Hortons.
Maybe it's just a big bottle of syrup.
All right, look, a lot more to look forward to. We have a great show today. We're going to be joined by Forward Madison striker Wojciech Wójcik. So stick around.
Hi, this is Jim Curtin, head coach of the Philadelphia Union, and I am the first head coach to kick it with the Cooligans.
All right, welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. Again, make sure to stick around because we will have Wojciech Wójcik of Forward Madison FC right after this next break. All right, so let's talk about, before we get into the USL League One, let's talk about MLS this weekend. There were a bunch of matches, a bunch of rivalry matches.
Nothing major happened. Everything is fine.
No, Alexis, Major League Soccer happened. Okay.
Okay.
A bunch of great games. A couple things to highlight that stood out for us. One, DC United, Kevin Paredes, Dominican player.
It's the first thing we should talk about. 100%.
Obviously, look, this is what everyone is expecting. Got his first start. So I know that is equally important to everyone as it is to me.
Right? Impressive. Also, number 2, Michael Chang. Guano scored his first goal in MLS for RSL. Yeah.
Really, really cool. I mean, he has a great story playing in USL for a long time, playing for Charleston Battery, the Cuban Development Academy.
100%. Listen, it's really just like when you think about the innovation of putting your development academy in a country where you're not even really allowed.
Cool stories. And then let's talk about a couple of the games themselves. I think we should probably start with the final match of the weekend, which was Portland against Seattle, which was it could have been a strong start for the Timbers, but after a goal from Chris Duval was taken back due to an offside, but it was like a rocket that got past Stephen Fry. It might have been Chris Duval's greatest goal ever. That never was, He wasn't
even sure when it went in. He was like, did I hit that? That was amazing. But you feel bad because it looked like it was going to be a 0-0 draw for most of the match. And then something happened after the 60th minute where, Seattle just turned it on. And the Raul Ruidiaz just can change a game in a split second. You make any mistake near him, his eyes are only for the goal,
Yeah, and it was I forgot who. I think it was Jovan Jones that may have crossed the ball, but Ruidiaz flicks it towards the goal after the cross, gets in front of, I believe, Bill Tuiloma, who played it as well as you can play it.
That's what you're supposed to do.
He's like, I know that cross is coming here. Yeah. I'm going to be there. And then he's not getting this ball past me. Yeah. And Ruidiaz found a way. And then, it was just so unfortunate after defending for so long, but the ball hits the crossbar, hits Steve Clark, and then bounces in.
And if you look at Steve Clark, he's just like, what's going on? Because even during MLS's back, he had a couple sort of like big mistakes that luckily didn't affect obviously their opportunity to win. But this one, he just looks like no one talked to him after the match. He wasn't even sad. He was just like disappointed,
Yeah, it was frustrating. But then after, I think something happened after that. Like to give up the goal that way, I think kind of made the Timbers lose focus. And then
but I also think it was the thing of like the Timbers having to shift into like, all right, now we need to send everyone forward, everyone spread out a little bit more. And for Ruidiaz, all he needs is half an inch of space extra to find a chance to score a goal, and he does less than 10 minutes later, you know what I mean? And then immediately after that, Kevin Leardom scores. So it's just like, it was like right when you got your first, when they landed the first hook, the other boxer was like, oh, maybe I should start to defend against it. And then bam, bam, like 2 more. And they're like, what happened?
Yeah, yeah, they were seeing stars. Look, Seattle, those last couple minutes, they played incredibly well. I did not, from the first 60 minutes, I did not think the Sounders would win that game. So no. it was generally pretty impressive. And Jordan Morris was incredible as well. Like
they just don't give up, which is impressive.
I was seeing there was like Morris did probably a little too much a couple times, but there was like a great flick that he did to Ruidiaz that didn't end up in a goal. But I was just like, Matt Doyle shared this video, but I was like, okay, this I think Jordan Morris is listening to all the trash that Alexis is talking about him.
Yeah. All right, relax. That was years ago.
From like 4 years ago. Yeah. He's like, he keeps repeating it, and he's like, I'm gonna add a couple new tricks to my arsenal.
By the way, we've said flick more this episode than ever before. The word flick is the word of the day. Yeah, we're talking about Hansi Flick.
Okay, we're huge fans. So the other game I wanted to talk about real quick was RSL against Colorado. Because another Rocky Mountain Cup. But this was a game.
Sounds like a country music song, doesn't it?
Colorado was up 1-0, and lose this game 4-1, which is just it's just one of those.
Again, that's how everyone assumed it was gonna happen.
But the goal from Damir Kreilach was unreal. We're seeing
How is the sound of it hitting the goal harder than the sound of it coming off his foot? It just makes no sense.
MLS has the best mic'd nets in the league.
They said they have as many mics as they used to have fans in the stands. Everything is mic'd up.
Okay, they're interviewing the net after the game. How do you feel about that goal?
They're like, you know what? We're going to do soccer and ASMR at the same time. We're going to figure this out.
He blasted it. Look, it's just I love seeing these. Just a couple, we're just a couple games back into the season starting, but the players seem to be very much in form. It very much feels like the MLS is back tournament was a good preseason for the regular season.
Yeah,
literally.
it seems like the MLS is back helped MLS get back, which was pretty dope. In fact, we got more about soccer. In fact, we're going to have our interview with your forward, Madison forward, Wojciech Wójcik, right after this. All right, baby, we're back, and this is exciting. I mean, we got a chance to meet this dude when we were hosting a financial emporium. So I don't know, really, which again, look, I know you're watching this, and you're just as shocked as we are. Okay. When we were asked to host this event, we're like, do you know who we are, and have you heard us speak before?
Okay, the Cooligans financial advisement firm. Okay, that's what we started.
I just kept yelling "sell," and they're like, dude, we're not even talking about stocks. I was like, I said sell, damn it. But this dude, absolutely amazing. At that time, he was playing for Hartford Athletic, but now he is the forward for your Forward Madison. And it's funny that I say that twice because his name is going to sound like I'm saying it twice. But it's not, I promise you. He plays alongside, if you look at their website, a pink flamingo. I'm not making that up. Listed as one of the forwards. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, put your hands together unless you're driving, for Wojciech Wójcik. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Got that right, 100%. You got it right. Thank you, guys. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on. This is great.
This is awesome.
We like Alexis had mentioned, we met you at Johnny Barajo's I guess his new endeavor. And Johnny Barajo played in NASL. He's played in MLS. He's been on the podcast before, so that's how we got introduced to him. And then when we met you, you were just one of the soccer players that was interested in preparing for their future financially. Right. So, and then getting to know you a bit more and following you and watching you play, I'm like, all right, this dude is he's a big man, okay? Yeah. As Jamaicans would say, you're a big forward and you're an absolute baller. So I want to start with, let's start with Forward Madison. You left Hartford to play for Forward Madison, and Forward Madison are right now one of the hottest clubs in the country. I mean,
they're a SoundCloud rapper is about to blow up. You know what I mean? They got a lot of buzz, man.
The album is dropping soon.
There's so much anticipation.
Right?
So how is it playing for the club, and especially a club that has such a strong online presence?
It's been really great. I mean, I'm from Chicago, so being close to home is great. And I heard a lot of great stuff about the club when I was playing still at Hartford. And they're, like you guys are saying, a relatively new club. It's our second year in the league, so there's just a lot of hype and a lot of excitement around what the club is doing here, especially since we're so closely knitted together with the community here. It's been really it's been great to be a part of the club, to be able to play in front of we haven't been really able to play in front of everyone in Madison because of the COVID situation, but overall it's been a very pleasant experience. I'm very happy here.
How does it feel playing for a club like Forward Madison that, very different from some of the club, you've played for Cosmos in a moment, which have a name because of, a really significant past and what they mean for American soccer. Forward Madison is unlike any other club in the sense that they're almost like a brand. It's like a hyped up social media account that also plays soccer. It's incredible just how well they are connecting to the fans and to the community. What's that like representing that? It's got to be dramatically different than what you've experienced in the past.
Yeah, it's funny because when I first came here, obviously, every supporter section or, all the fans that are involved with supporting the club, they genuinely like the club, but here it's on steroids. And I think it's just from the fact that from its core foundation, Forward Madison has made it very clear that they want to be hand in hand with the community. And it's been very evident from at least my first days at the club that it's been like that. And I think a couple of the jerseys, I think one of the ones, the away kits that we have, the white and pink one, they've like made it. They've got every season ticket holder's name on there.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. They're very involved with like with all the supporter sections. So it's just really cool. And like we had people come out to Omaha to the game. Yes, last night. And then we had guys like in preseason come out to St. Louis. They're everywhere. Literally, they're everywhere. The flock is everywhere. They're everywhere. So you can't get away from these guys. It's awesome. So it's like cool. I said, it's just a very, very cool experience. And like I said, I'm very happy to be here at Forward Madison.
All right. And I'm curious, just because you have played in USL for a while and just in lower league professional soccer, and we should at least talk a little bit about just a general feeling. I don't know, I'm not asking you necessarily to comment from a political standpoint, but the fact that you are playing USL matches and there are fans at games when some people are very against it, some people are trying to avoid it entirely. As a player, what's it like? Kind of, is that something you even think about, or you just kind of just focused on the game?
Yeah, with the whole bubble and everything, all the return to play protocols, it's been different and maybe a little bit difficult at times because there's just procedures on procedures. Like they're doing everything to make sure that we're staying safe and the fans that come to the games are staying safe as well. And at times it may seem like a little bit ridiculous, but at the same time, like we are all going through this, so we have to be safe. And it's so it really hasn't affected me in terms of like the playing per se, but other than like wearing the masks inside the locker room when you're getting ready, like that's the only awkward part, because you're like, you walk into the locker room and you're like, the first thing you have to do is like be conscious of your distance between your teammates, or like, bringing it into a huddle is like not a kind of awkward, you're not really like elbows in, like what's going on here?
Everybody in a huddle, together? 6 feet away.
Yeah, I know. It just literally was one of my teammates. It's funny. One of my teammates, it's because our athletic trainer obviously has to be like very,
cautious.
He has to be proactive about the whole situation, right? So anytime we're at training, like 6 feet, like if we arrive to training, we get screened for the temperatures, we get the hand sanitizer, we're on our way to the benches to put our boots on this, and all you hear is Mike in the back, 6 feet. And one of our teammates is that episode with Dwight Schrute in The Office when he starts the fire? What's the procedure? And you hear Gustavo in the back when you might go 6 feet. When you just look at Gustavo and Gustavo be like, what's the procedure? So you have to make it you kind of have to be light about the whole situation.
Yeah.
It's a very rough time that we're going through, but obviously comedy helps everything. So
if you can't laugh about some things, it's just going to weigh so heavy on you.
Exactly. So we kind of have fun with it, but we're also being very safe.
Okay, that's important. And look, at the very least, there is someone nagging you about it to be responsible, because it's
every day.
I can't imagine soccer players trying to be the most responsible people in the world. I don't think that's really their priority.
Especially when they're trained to run towards each other.
Pass me the ball, let me bang it in the net. That's all I want to do.
It's like we're battling. We go to training and we're going into tackles, or slide tackling, all this stuff, and like after like we were literally just training, like we were going into 100 like tackles, and now we have to like put the mask on, procedures. What's the procedure? All right.
All right. We'll be back with more Wojciech right after this. All right, welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. We are here with Forward Madison striker Wojciech Wójcik. All right, every single time it's like a test that I'm passing. Every time
it sounds like you're correcting yourself. When you answer the last name, that's what it sounds
like. It's like, oh no, Christian, I have a stutter. That's all. That's what it is. No, man, dude. So I do want to talk about real quick about that time that we did meet. Right, we met at that kind of like financial advisement kind of seminar. And I'm curious because, playing in the USL and the fact that you were there and trying to be proactive about, like, I know I'm not going to be playing forever. Hopefully make it to first division in MLS or play overseas or whatever. What's sort of the mentality of like what my career is going to look like, or what my sort of options are?
Right. A lot of it has to do with, for me, the best way I go about it is, you're only given today. So whether that's training or whether that's the game, you have to give everything that you have that day to be able to prepare yourself for the game that day, or to be able to win a spot. And a lot of that has to come down to, competing every day and making sure you're preparing the right way to be able to do what you want to do. And it's no secret that lower level American soccer is a little bit different than, for instance, MLS or any other higher league out there. But the quality of the games and the quality of the players and the structure of the leagues and the games, obviously minus the whole 2020 COVID situation, is good, and the standard is great. So it's a grind for sure, a little bit different because it is lower level and the turnarounds are a little bit quicker and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, I get to do what I love to do. And if you told me as a kid growing up when I was, 7 or 8 years old that, you would be doing what you love to do and living out your dream, I would have taken it 100%. So I'm very fortunate and blessed to be doing what I love to do. And it's been great. It's been awesome. I literally get paid to play soccer. It's great. It's awesome. When
you look at how, especially with the level of quality that there tends to be in the USL and in some of the lower leagues, a great opportunity for that is the U.S. Open Cup. It's a great opportunity for you guys to show your skills. It's a great opportunity for some of the bigger clubs to even get a chance to take a look at you. That's for the first time in ever. It's not happening this year. How much of that is a hit to a club like Forward Madison, which uses these moments to really shine?
Right. I mean, it's good because you get to play, obviously, teams from championship, or if you move past that, you get to play teams from MLS. So anytime you get to go toe to toe with those teams, it's great competition. It's great games. But for us players, it's opportunities to be able to show ourselves. And, not being able to have that this year is going to hurt a little bit. But, at the same time, we still got games to play. And the structure is different because last year, I believe in this league, it was top 4 that went to the playoffs, but now it's just a straight race to the first and second that get a spot in the final. So it's different, but it's still very exciting. And I don't know if you guys saw this on, I think Bleacher Report posted this maybe like yesterday or something like that. But like, you take a look at a guy like Alphonso Davies, right? I mean, literally 3 years ago, he was playing for Vancouver. So the stepping stones or the ladder, I guess the pyramid to go up, or if you're looking for setting goals, it's there. Like if you're willing to put in the work and you're successful in doing so, you can go places. And Alphonso Davies isn't the one. I mean, he is the one exception because he's playing for Bayern Munich, right? But like, there's been so many players that have come up through the system that there is potential here to grow, and that's also the exciting part about playing in this league and the championship in USL in general is that people are watching and there's a lot of exposure.
Yeah, I read something. I forgot who posted it. I forgot exactly who posted it. I do want to give them credit, but they mentioned something about how in American soccer, especially with MLS bringing up players from USL, that because of like the salary structure and the way and cap hits or whatever, that they tend to bring in foreign players more likely than bringing up a player from USL because of financially sort of how it works. Is there any a feeling, or at least maybe conversations where where you're ever sort of in that mix about possibly going somewhere to going to MLS or going to a higher level team, but then business sort of gets in the way? Like, have you ever been a part of anything like that?
Yeah, it's difficult, right? Because you wanna, looking at it from like a manager's perspective or like a recruitment perspective, bringing players in, right? Like, you look at guys that are coming fresh out of colleges going into these clubs, not having the experiences like, let's say, a guy that was playing for, growing up playing for Chivas Academy or something like that, and then maybe getting a couple first team appearances. So I think in that sense, maybe it favors the player that grew up playing for a first team academy, and then maybe getting a couple calls with the first team. But things are changing here as well. Like, there's so many guys that are on homegrown. We have a couple guys from the Fire here that signed homegrown contracts with the first team and are on loan with us. So I think the way that they're restructuring everything in terms of top down and being able to move up has significantly changed in the last couple of years, and even so the academy as well. And I think it's changing a lot to be able to favor the American player trying to make it.
What do you ever get, like, some younger players that are coming to you and asking you for advice? In particular, right now, it seems to be a big question on, if you are young, what do you do? Do you try to grind it out here, or do you possibly try your hand overseas? You played overseas for a bit. What's your advice to a younger player, and what are your thoughts?
It's tough now, because I remember when I was growing up, obviously Europe was always an option, but like for me, I grew up playing for a local Polish club in Chicago, and I ended up working my way into the Fire Academy and starting out as a developmental player, and then signing on as a full team academy player, and then I eventually made my way to college. But I think now it kind of depends on what each player wants to do. If they want to go play and do the whole college soccer thing and get a good education and then see where to go from there, I think that's a great option as well. Although now things are changing with, you're not going to get as many quality players, not necessarily in college, because the option to go pro at an earlier age is available now. Honestly, it just depends on the person, what they want and what they're willing to sacrifice for it. And whether that's going to Europe, things work out like that as well. I mean, Christian Pulisic, he went over there at a young age and did his thing. And but I think either way you go, as long as that you're happy with the decision that you make, is going to work out for you eventually. And I don't regret anything I did, because look, I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to still do what I like to do. And it does work out, and it does manifest itself in different ways. It's just, sometimes you plan for things that don't go like they do, because it is soccer, and the soccer industry is, for lack of better terms, cutthroat. Yeah. So it does get tough, but at the end of the day, your game speaks for itself, and you want to be able to put yourself in the best position to develop as a player when you're young, and to be put into situations where you can keep developing and keep growing and keep learning and keep getting better.
As a soccer fan, that's one thing I don't really consider, the soccer player being happy. No,
it's not important. It's about what I want to cheer for on a Saturday. We got more with Wojciech when we get back after this. All right, baby, and we're back. Cooligans Living Room FC, obviously here with Wojciech. We actually have a group called Gully Squad. They're our supporters. I know you're used to supporters, right? These are our supporters.
We have some of the flock are in Gully Squad as well. Yeah,
and we're socially distancing from them as well. They send us emails. You know what I mean? But one of the questions we had, and we do have some questions from some flock and some Hartford Athletic fans, but this one comes from a Jason Aumprasuth. I hope I said that correctly. I feel like I didn't. How did I get your name right, not his? I don't know. But he said, this will probably be super random, but were you named after a bear that fought in World War II? It was a bear named Wojciech that fought in World War II. Is that where your name is from?
I mean, that's the first I hear of it, but it very well could be true. I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah, we should at least we spoke off air a little bit.
We need to like elaborate on this. How did this even come into?
It's as random for us as it is for you,
and that's why I said that first part. This will probably be super random. Yeah, it is. It is.
We'll share the video with you. Apparently, there is a Polish. I guess it's a Polish war hero. Is that what it is? I didn't watch the full video, but it's But we should talk about your name a little bit, because it is, I think, I would say for probably a lot of Americans, it's like, it could be like, oh, you know, obviously pronunciation, but it's obviously clearly Polish. But what's it like growing up with that name? I mean,
although in Chicago, there's so many Polish people, you were fine.
Yeah, but I was okay in Chicago.
Okay, cool. So, but you must have heard like,
but when you hit Hartford, you must have heard a lot of remixes.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you must have heard a bunch of pronunciations, or people, where are you from? What is this? You know?
Yeah, because when you first take a look at my name, it's like, all right, that's definitely 100% not American. Like, there's definitely somewhere from not here. So, but yeah, no, I heard it all. But like I was telling you guys, the W in the Polish alphabet tends to make a V sound. So, and the J makes a Y sound. So when you see WOJ, a lot of Americans just think Woj. But it's Voy. So when I phonetically spell something out, my name out to people, I just write VOY. So it's Voy or Woj, either one. You know,
even when you Google you, there's like 3 different spellings for your name, which I'm like, yo, I respect Wojciech because he don't give nobody his government name. You know what I mean? Keep everyone guessing.
I fly under the radar.
Hell yeah, dude. I don't know him. I'm Wojciech, bro.
Look, right? as stand-up comedians, like we've hosted shows and we have to like ask people for their name, or we'll be on a show and then somebody will, like the host will butcher our name.
Happens all the time.
I'm just curious because I've heard a bunch of weird. My name is not that weird, but I've heard a bunch of butcherings of my name. What's the weirdest version of your name that you heard?
Man, so like you guys say like Woj, right? But like it's funny. Like I'll remember like this. Like I remember this. Grade school, middle school, high school. I'm like sitting there, teacher's going through roll call. She's going her name, she's doing her thing. And then she starts getting to the S, the T's. And I'm like, all right, here we go. It's going to happen. And she starts, whatever. She starts saying their names. And all of a sudden there's a pause, like, and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, how do you say? And then she would just go like, watch, check. And I'm like, you know what? Voy, just call me Voy. So as soon as I heard the pause in the teacher's roll call, I knew it was like, that's my time to be able to, do and just tell exactly.
When you see her flip the page upside down.
Like, no, when her eyes start going like, oh my God, what is this? Yeah. Then
she's like, did they print this in wingdings? What is this?
What font is this exactly?
Damn. Yeah. Is this all caps? I can't even tell what's happening here.
Yeah. So I've heard it all. So however someone pronounces it, I just go along with it because it's just fun. This is comedy at this point, but it's a tough name to pronounce, to be honest. But Voy or Woj is the easiest shortened way to say it.
All right, perfect.
It's good that you're comfortable with that.
Okay,
right.
So Peter Garcia, he had asked, he huge fan of you,
massive,
and obviously he's a big Hartford Athletic fan. He just said, have him make the case for players doing karaoke with supporters once in your career. Yeah. So I don't know is this a backstory? Have you done karaoke or have you not done karaoke?
So I have to give props to the Hartford fans and the supporters because they were literally great, awesome. And there's a very big Polish population and a very big Polish community in Hartford itself. So I think if you were to number it off, it would be like New York, Chicago, Hartford. In terms of the amount of Polish people in the city, and they have a Polish national home that's been around there for I think the 100-year anniversary was maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. It might have even been when I was in Hartford. So I was the only Polish athlete or the only Polish soccer player that played for Hartford Athletic last year in the first year. So when they found out that there was a Polish guy playing for the team, they went crazy and we did a whole thing. There was a whole Polish night and we ended up bringing in I think it was 250, 300 plus Polish people, and they had their own section. They did the whole tailgate, white and red flags. Yeah. They had the podcast. They made me come out, and they're very, very good people.
There's spiritus everywhere.
Oh my God. Yeah. Literally everywhere. It's funny because that Polish night, I didn't start. So I was warming up on the side and we were playing against Louisville. And I think we were down 1-0. And I was just, doing open the gate, close the gate, like warming up, like getting ready to go in. And we were down 1-0. And just like, I would have like Polish people like coming up because the stands are very close to where we're warming up. So there's Polish guys just pacing back and forth, just like giving me the eye. They're like, in Polish, they're like, you better make something happen when you come out there. Otherwise, we're never going to come out to any of these games. And
No pressure,
these guys are like chatting my ear off. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to warm up. Like, you want me to go out there and do work or what? Like, get out of
your ancestors are watching.
No, literally, that's how it felt. The pressure was just growing. I felt heavier by the second.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, bro, I'm from Chicago. I know what you're talking about.
Damn,
right. But no, so that's how it ended up. The whole karaoke thing ended up happening is because we had the whole Polish night. We brought people out. It was a great time. And then after the Polish national home from Dillon Stadium was like less than a mile away. So everyone just from the stadium after the game went to the national home, and we just had like a big showing. We had people come out. We had food. We had drinks. We had everything. And then someone brought out a karaoke machine, and they're like, we're going to start doing this. And I'm like, all right. And then they're like, oh, come sing. And I was like, nah. And I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. After
did you do a Polish song or pop?
No, I didn't do a Polish song. I think I don't even remember what I did. I think I did some Justin Timberlake or something like that. I don't even remember.
Hey,
bring it sexy.
But my go-to is Crazy Little Thing Called Love, and then I did like a Justin Timberlake. But it was fun. Regardless, it was super fun. It was great to have all those people there. And like I said, there's a big Polish community in Hartford. So every game there was always something going on. And they're very, very good about supporting the club and me, just because I think they'll tell you I think I was a fan favorite, but it was fun. They ended up actually having a drink on the menu after my name, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's so dope.
Okay.
Wojciech Old Fashioned. It was strong. I only needed like one or two, and I was like, so.
Okay.
But it was good.
All right. So we'll be back with more Wojciech right after this. All right, welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. We are here with the Forward Madison striker, Big Man. I don't know why I love saying that, but it's every time I watch you play, I'm just like, yo, this dude is a unit.
Well, we remember when we first met him and he stood up out of his chair and we're like, why is he still going?
Wojciech. So I want to talk a little bit about now playing for Forward Madison. And a lot of people know Forward Madison, definitely for their online presence, but I think a lot of people don't really pay. I don't know necessarily how many people are watching USL League One games outside of like the people in those particular markets and those particular supporters. But playing for this team now, what do you feel is the kind of the footballing identity for Forward Madison? Right.
For everyone who only knows you as potatoes and kits, how do y'all play?
And cheese curds, since we're in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're the type of team that obviously likes to keep the ball, but I would say that we're also, a counterattacking team. We like to keep it when it's on. And we like to play out of pressure, but if we need to defend, we're very comfortable defending and then breaking fast on the transition to be able to score on a counterattack. We have a lot of speed in terms of our wingers. We have a lot of very fast guys that are good 1v1, able to beat guys in behind and whip good service across the box, which is why it's great for me because a guy like me needs a lot of good service. So it's good though. We have a lot of fun, and we in the beginning of the year, the first two games, we kind of struggled to like figure each other out, but we're starting to get into a little bit of a roll now, and we're coming off of a win against
Georgia.
Yes, Tormenta, and then we just played last night in Omaha and drew. So it's like our coach says, it's not a marathon this year. It's more of a sprint because we only have the 16 games, and it's top two go to a final. So it's exciting. It's a quick turnaround because we did just play Saturday, Wednesday, and now we're playing Sunday again. And
just to clarify, when this is airing, you will have already played against Orlando City B, but we are taping before that game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I assume you got like 6 goals that game, whatever.
Standard Wojciech.
To my future self, congratulations.
Yeah. Not bad, double hat trick. That's pretty good.
Hey, you never know.
I like how you took it easy on him, dude.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, obviously with the whole pandemic and the Corona thing, it's been we had to take a bit of a hiatus and we were away from each other for a while, but we're back at it and we got into a rhythm and we've picked up some points in the last couple games and we hopefully are looking to pick up a couple points in the next couple as well. 2 home games and hopefully we can climb the table and secure our spot in the final game coming up in, oh my God, it's going to be 2 months now? It's moving pretty fast.
Yeah,
so it's
pretty fast.
August.
You guys, I want to talk a little bit because we had mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but your team's rivalry with the Richmond Kickers.
The Henny Derby.
The Henny Derby, the Henny Derby.
So this is a fun, a new derby, a different kind of derby. You know what I mean?
This ain't your dad's derby.
Unfortunately, you guys lost 1-0. But what is the look? The Forward Madison, a very new team. But for the players themselves, how much do they know about this Henny Derby, and how do they approach it?
I did not know the significance of that game in terms of the Henny Derby until one of the flock DM'd me. They're like, "You ready for this Henny Derby?" I'm like, "Oh my God, it's pretty serious." And they like send me the picture of the actual like Hennessy with the supporters. And I'm like, "All right, this is cool." I did not, and it was detailed in chrome and like gold, and I'm like,
it's pretty bedazzled.
It was bedazzled, exactly. Yeah, I had no idea about the Henny Derby until one of the supporters DM'd me. So it's cool that everyone likes to watch games and support their team and to be able to have like a thing like as cool as that Henny Derby. It's obviously back in Richmond now, but we'll get him next time. Hopefully, I think we're playing it one more time. So
we got to get a Spirits Derby.
Yeah, right?
Someone got to do a Spirits
Derby.
We're going to need EMTs for the fans, so if you do that.
It's going to be, that derby is going to have Wojciech's just angry family watching him, judging every touch.
We got more of Wojciech when we get back after this.
All right. Thank you so much, Wojciech Wójcik, for joining us. Forward Madison striker. Make sure watch Forward Madison game. You can watch them on ESPN Plus. All USL League One games are there. Honored. Thank you for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. Is there anything you want to let people know about before we wrap up here?
No, just thank you guys for having me. I know you guys, since what was that last year that we met each other, and now we're doing it social distance style. So it's great to see you guys again, and it's great to watch you guys grow as well. So thank you for having me. And if you guys want to follow on the social, it's Woj_Woj for Insta. Your boy is new to the TikTok game as well. Just give me some time on that because I'm still trying to figure that out. But other than that, no. I mean, it's thank you for having me.
The bar of soccer players on TikTok, Alphonso Davies set it very high, and Robert Lewandowski. All right, everybody, make sure follow Woj on social media, follow at Soccer Cooligans, and follow at Fubo Sports on all social media channels, and make sure to subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel for full episodes of the program.
Hit that button, yo.
All right, so with that said, so for Wojciech Wójcik, my name is Christian Polanco.
And I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we?
The Cooligans!